All right, ladies, welcome back to another installment of Julian's Random Projects, a very quick one here. Don't mind the 3D printer humming along in the background. When we last left off, we were debating on whether or not to order one of these or modify this back wheelbarrow tire so that it can be driven by the motor, or to 3D print a part to adapt the backside of this guy. The backside of this guy because it was injection molded to accept the driving, the little hub that takes the torque from the motor and applies it to this wheel here. So I did reach out to the company that makes this. They had like an online forum that said, if you know, customer service or something, and I messaged them twice via that. I got no response. And like I said, I got this thing for dirt cheap. So any extra effort spent trying to hunt down one of these with that bracket, like one of these plastic tires with that bracket, is just not going to be worth my time. A reminder that people should be mindful of their time. We're all slowly dying, and every moment counts. So time is money. If you can fix something, tweak something, and move on with your life, you're better off than just wasting hours and hours and hours trying to get some piddly $20 part. So that's what we're doing today. Now, it was going to be a ton of fabricating and modifying to get this guy to work, or as someone mentioned in the comments, and was a thought I think we sort of dabbled with in the earlier episode, moving this to the front, which just spins and doesn't drive. It's a similar outer diameter to the stock wheels, and so you just throw it up front, you're done. A little bit of PVC pipe in to change the ID, and you're done. And because they were nice enough to leave this pattern here for us to mate up, and because the internet is awesome, I didn't have to fabricate a damn thing. Someone already designed this in a 3D program and uploaded it to Thingiverse, which is think of it as a search engine for things and objects and trinkets, anything that you want to 3D print. Someone has already may have already thought of it and uploaded the file, and so you can just get it. You can download one and modify it. Let's say you want to make this one, make it a little bit taller, or you wanted to change this outer ring to adapt to a different style of tire. You could do that, and then through like a Creative Commons type license, you would re-upload it and you would attribute the original designer, and you say, oh, I've made a modification, and then like a wiki page, it keeps track of where the original file came from, and so you can kind of see its evolution over time and how it was improved. Maybe somebody built something like this and then they would abandon it and somebody else can pick it up and move on with it. So there you go. So big thank you. I will put a link. I'll just throw it up here because I've since forgotten the guy's name, but credit where credit is due. So let's get this tire swapped and see if we can get this thing up and running. Now, the original screws that came with this would have been calibrated, but I think these will be okay. All right, so we got it up and running. I don't think it looks half bad. Kind of cool, actually, with those front tires. If these wheelbarrow tires or hand truck tires weren't $15-20 a pop, I'd do all for it. It's kind of cool looking, and they definitely last a lot longer than these plastic ones. They got a lot more grip. You could really tear one of these things up. So if you find one of these for free or used and you want to upgrade it, or they maybe not this explicit Gravedigger, but you get some of the other Power Wheels that don't even have this rubber strip on it, don't bother trying to add a rubber strip or bands. Just swap them out, 3D print some parts, and rock one of these little hand truck tires. It's definitely an exciting time to be alive when you can just download a part from the internet effectively. I mean, sure, you might have bought a $200, $500 3D printer back in the day, but now it's actually earning its keep here in the garage, and I think that's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen the 3D printer I've got tucked away in here, let's see. Let's unplug it. Plug this. It used to have a power switch with the stock power supply, but it was always browning out and wasn't quite up to the task for this when it was sitting in here doing the old in-out routine. And I swapped it out with something a lot beefier, a lot noisier from a server, actually. Just 12 volts at like infinite amps. So that's what it's rocking now, so I have to like manually unplug it, but what are you gonna do? Here it is, printing some toys for the girls. They liked the tops that I printed them a while back, so I wanted some more of those. Another file you can find on Thingiverse. I'll put the link down the bottom. We've got it tucked away in this cabinet, partly because once you close it up, it insulates it pretty good, and then that means it retains its heat, and it can, you know, maintain an even temperature, and the board, this heated bed doesn't have to work so hard to maintain temperature when it's inside this box. And it's just a little workhorse back here that just keeps cranking out parts for me in like a 200 millimeter by 250 by, I don't know, 200 and some odd. You know, it's just like, you know, you get the idea. Stuff about yay big can be printed out of this guy. And of course, if you get into 3D printing, the first thing you'll print is the accoutrement for your own printer, all the different little upgrade bits. This one brought it off the ground to let some airflow into the power supply. This is a display I painted white that gives you a little bit more control over this. So you don't have to have it hooked up to a PC all the time. You can just rock it headless, if you will. Pretty typical for 3D printing. So, of course, if you guys want to see more projects like this, make sure you subscribe. We're coming up on 8,000 subscribers. That's crazy. There's like major companies that only have 800 or so folks, but of course they're not doing fun, goofy shit like this. So if you want to support the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll probably do some sort of fun thing for the 8,000 subscribers. I don't know what. I'll take recommendations down the bottom.